Good morning and welcome back. You can see we are going to be cooking on a Weber kettle today, and I figured I'd just show you my setup. I did the chicken wings last night, and I had the Weber Vortex flipped over so the narrower end was up top, and all that heat just shot straight up and, got some nice and crispy wings. But today we're going to use the Weber Vortex a little different. We got her flipped the opposite way, and then we have charcoal all on the outside of this, and then my food is going to go right over the center of the Vortex. And the bottom is just an 8x8 square pan that I kind of shoved down into there, put about a bottle and a half of water into it. And I have a chimney full. I believe I'm starting with 9 briquettes. And we're going to start it on this side, and it's going to burn all the way over, kind of like the snake method or the minion method or whatever you want to call it. And then for some wood flavor, we got 4 chunks of oak in there. So I figured I'd just show you my setup today. It's a little different. Just another way you can use this Vortex. And yeah, pretty excited for today's cook, so stay tuned, and we'll see you when we're up in the kitchen getting the food ready. Alrighty, you guessed it, we got some beef plate ribs we're going to do today. You can see we got nice thick meat on there, we got 4 bones. They're a little bit hard fat there, I did a little bit of trimming. And to get these ready, to prep them up, I'm going to do 2 layers of seasoning and rub on this. The first one we're going to come with is this Killer Hogs, the AP rub all-purpose rub. This stuff is really good. We're going to go on really light with it, and then probably let it sit on there for about 10 minutes. Maybe dump some W sauce on it, and then we're going to come back and we're going to hit it with some of this Holy Cow Meat Church, and I might go a little more liberal with this. I will say this stuff is really peppery, and to be honest with you, when I've done beef ribs, that's what I've been missing, from my taste, and I usually just do salt and pepper. But yeah, I will probably get, I'll get this thing seasoned up, and I'll give you a peek once it's out on the Weber. Down at the Weber kettle, just put the beef ribs on. Let's go ahead and take a peek. There they be. You can see some of that oak is starting to catch now. I am using the CyberQ Cloud today, just because I can, and I love the dang CyberQ Cloud. It makes things so easy. But I'm going to go ahead and close this thing down. Using the CyberQ Cloud, the bottom vent is all the way closed, obviously, because the fan is the intake for this, and then the top vent, I'm going to try leaving it all the way open. It's not always possible on the Weber kettle. Some of the times when you're using the CyberQ Cloud, even if you start your fires small, you have to kind of sort of like close that top vent about halfway. But besides that, so we're cooking at 250. I'm guessing these will take anywhere in between, we'll go with like 5 and 7 hours. And I am going to peek in and spray these down with some water. Probably about we're going to let them go for 2 hours, and then we're going to do them for probably every hour for the next 3, if that makes sense. But besides that, I'm going to go ahead and sign off for a bit here, and we'll pick back up and we're spraying them down the first. Alrighty, we are 2 hours into the cook. We've been holding at 250 the whole time. CyberQ Cloud always does a good job. Take a peek at the ribs. There they be. You can see they're just barely starting to draw back from the bone. Charcoal is about right there-ish. And I'm going to go ahead, this is just a bottle of water, and I'm going to go ahead and spray these down with some water. Just to try to keep some, moisture on the outside, maybe try to get a better smoke ring on them. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to close this thing down, and I'm probably going to let them go for another hour, and then I'll spray them down again. So I don't know if I'll pick up then or not, but I'll just see you when I see you. So we are 5 hours into the cook. We've been maintaining that temp right at 250, has not fluctuated whatsoever. Take a peek at our ribs, looking mighty nice. I just did check the internal temp on these. Internal temp is right around the 175 to 180 range. Guessing these things probably got at least another hour, hour and a half, maybe 2 hours to go yet. So besides that, I got nothing else. Like I said, CyberQ Cloud's been doing a really good job. It always does. We probably got about a third of the charcoal left, and I am not spraying the outside with water anymore. We went for that 2 hours, and then we sprayed it every hour after that until we got to the 5 hour mark. So we're just going to go ahead and let these continue to cook. Probably check them every hour or so and pull them off when they reach about 197 to 200 and wrap them in some foil, let them rest. So besides that, I will pick back up when we're cutting into these, and it's time to eat. So I lied. We're back. Ribs have been on for 6 hours and 50 minutes, 50 minutes. They have reached an internal of about 200 degrees, and will you take a look at that? Looking really nice. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and pull these off. I'm going to wrap them up in foil for about an hour, hour and a half, and then I will finally pick back up when it's time to eat. Alrighty, so we are back right away. You can see the cutting board in front of us. It says Brian's Barbecue. I got to thank my my Aunt Cindy and Uncle Bob up in Plymouth, Minnesota. This was a Christmas present, and it is pretty awesome, I might add. But let's go ahead and throw the beef ribs right on the cutting board here. Oh yeah, baby, there the beef ribs are. Real quick, I'm going to go over the cook times before I cut into them. We did 6 hours and 50 minutes at 250, and then an hour and 50-minute rest wrapped in tinfoil and some towels. So the total cook time today is about 8 hours and 40 minutes. So without further ado, let's go ahead and move these rubs out of the way. Let's go ahead and just cut into these ribs. And yeah, I'm going to use my big knife. You know, I did purchase this knife just for a brisket cook, but you know what? We got to use it tonight. So we'll go ahead and cut into these ribs. And we'll take a peek after I get them all cut up. Let's go ahead and pick one of these ribs up. Oh, wait 1 minute here. Let's go ahead and cut all the way through it. There we go. Oh yeah, nice looking smoke ring on there. Looking still, pretty juicy. Let's go ahead and give this a taste test right away. You know what? That may be one of the best things I've ever cooked. The meat church, holy cow. You know, it's not overpowering pepper, but you can definitely taste the pepper there. And the Killer Hogs all-purpose rub did its job too. But yeah, besides that, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to chow down on these. I'm going to eat. Thank you for watching, and we'll catch you next time.